Okay, moving on to the next episode of the Nightmare Room, entitled Scareful What You Wish For. Man, this is a good episode. Couple of things. So what I forgot to mention in the first review is that there is this, for the opening of the show, there is this voiceover, this dark, gravelly voiceover that tells you and says he's R.L. Stine. I know, and I'm like, I've always known that's not R.L. Stine's voice because he introduces some of the Goosebumps episode. But what I've never realized till now, I started watching this episode, the intro came on, and I heard the voice, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Uncle Phil. And I looked it up. Sure enough, James Avery, Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, does the voiceover at the beginning and the end of the episodes. Blows my mind, I never knew that. That I could never figure that out. Now as an adult rewatching this, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Uncle Phil. I know that voice. That is Uncle Phil. And it was. This episode, it hits home hard. Because, okay, so this show came out in 2001. And it's about a boy who is transitioning from middle school to high school. Around that time, I was transitioning from middle school to high school. Let's see. I was in 8th grade in 2001. So I was close to that. Also, the main antagonist of this episode is a buddy doll who can magically come to life. And I don't mean Child's Play 2019 buddy doll. I mean a buddy doll that's meant to represent the My Buddy doll, which I have, still in my possession. I had one when I was a kid. I still have it. It's like the second run from the 90s. But there he is. He's not in the best shape, but I've duct taped him back together. He got a big old block in his head because growing up I used to wrestle with him. So he's got injuries from wrestling. But yeah. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. But this doll is freaky. Yeah. Okay, so this, like I mentioned, because this is an American production, there's a lot of more notable actors and actresses in these roles. In this episode alone, we have Shia LaBeouf, Tanya Raymond from, Shia LaBeouf, who would be in Even Stevens and the Transformers and Do It! Tanya Raymond, who would be in Lost and Texas Chainsaw 3D. Betsy Randall from Home Improvement and Boy Meets World. Dylan and Cole Sprouse from, Zack and Cody. All in this episode. And like I said, it's about this boy, played by Shia LaBeouf. He's moving into his sister's bigger room when she's going to college, and he's decided he's going to grow up. He's throwing away all of his old toys that he doesn't play with anymore. They're going to donate them to charity. One of them happens to be this buddy doll. And upon, this revelation that he's getting rid of his old toys, the buddy doll starts to come to life. Now, you can say it's a sort of a mock Child's Play, where instead of the doll being a doll or animatronic, they just hired a kid actor. The twins, Dylan and Cole Sprouse. Now, for the most part, I can't tell between the two at this age. To me, it always looks like Cole Sprouse. That's why people say, oh, it's the Sprouse twins. I'm like, no, it's only Cole, or Dylan. Cole. It's only Cole Sprouse, because it's the only one that I see. He was in Big Daddy. But apparently it's both of them. I guess I can't tell. The only time I can tell is towards the end when he says, forever. That's clearly Dylan saying forever. Because when they get older, they sound different. They act different. And when that forever is said, it sounds like Dylan's voice. Weird as it is for me to catch that. So, this, Dylan, which is the name of our main character, by the way, is with his friends in school, and they're getting ready to graduate from middle school. And they bump into this strange little kid who says, will you be my friend? Will you play with me? Now, Okay. Some kid walked up to me and go, will you play with me? I'd be like, no, I'm fine. I mean, they're all kids. But it's weird either way. It's just like, do I know you? If I was Dylan's age and someone came up and me, will you play with me? I'm like, well, we're at school right now. We're supposed to be learning. I don't know about playing. Go find a frisbee after school, maybe. I don't know. The kid just comes up. It's really weird. But, so he's like, no, go away. And Dylan's kind of mean to him. And he's like, I'm your best friend. And no, you're not my best friend. He's my best friend. And shortly after this, like, okay, so it has the common R.L. Stein trope of showing us something in the episode that's going to come into play later in the episode. And beginning of this episode, we see Dylan and his friend are getting ready to eat sandwiches. And Dylan stops his friend because of strawberry jelly, and his friend's allergic to strawberries. So, we'll set that up. But how they portray allergic reactions in this episode is not accurate. Because, okay, so the kid takes a bite, and almost instantly he's like, passes out. And it's like, it wouldn't work that fast, first of all. Two, I don't think he would pass out. He'd either get a rash or anaphylaxis. So, I don't know if they portrayed it right. Where he didn't even swallow. He just took a bite. Down. It's like, what? Who wrote this? Who wrote that? I mean, this is a good episode, but it's wrote. By the way, I should mention, this episode was directed by Anson Williams. Yes. Potsy from Happy Days directed this episode. Potsy directed this episode. Okay. So, after this, he starts to theorize that maybe the kid did it because he makes his own, his friend makes his own lunches. He wouldn't put the strawberry jelly in a tuna fish sandwich, for God's sake. And then the kid shows up, he's got strawberry jelly on his shirt, and he tries to proclaim that this kid did it. Now, first and foremost, they play the trope of, they don't believe that the doll is alive and that, no one he tells believes that the doll's alive. But they don't even believe him when he says that it was the buddy kid that did it. He said it was that buddy kid. And she just kind of gives him a weird look. I'm just like, okay, I will understand if they don't believe him when he says the doll's alive. But some strange kid that just showed up and said, will you play with me? And which Dylan said, in plain earshot of this kid, that this kid is not his best friend, that he has a best friend. And shortly after that, this best friend gets it, strawberry jam, pieces fit together in a puzzle here. Okay, woman? This girl needs to be smart. Instead of giving him a weird look. I understand when the adults start thinking that, people start thinking he's weird for thinking that the doll's alive. But when he just suggests that the buddy kid did it, I find it kind of weird that she just gives him a weird look, like it's the most craziest thing in the world. But it's not. It's very plausible. Even if you don't believe it's a doll. And here's the thing. Both of his friends have seen the kid, Buddy, walking around. So even if they don't believe that this kid is the doll, they should still be trying to find this kid. Because both of his friends have seen this kid. They've seen this kid. They know he exists. So they should be able to find this kid. But no, because we have to make it, no one believes him. Logic is thrown out the fucking window. Okay? I'm just saying. Even if he is going around saying that it's the doll. And there's still that buddy kid that his friends and several other of the children in the school saw talking to him, saying, will you play with me? I'm your best friend forever. Basically harassing the guy. Many people saw this, and yet no one even once agrees with him that it could be the Buddy Kid. Whether he's a doll or not, they should still be looking for this kid. Anyway. So, he attacks the doll, smashes it, his mom sees it, and she takes him to a psychiatrist, a physiatrist, as Ricky Ricardo would say. And of course they don't believe him, and then the doll shows up in human form again, and he grabs it, but then he turns into a doll magically again, which doesn't make any sense because his friends saw the doll in human form, so it's not like... Because what I'm trying to say is, if they're trying to make it look like it's in his head, it's not going to work because you already showed that the other his two friends, could see the Buddy doll as a kid. So it's not in his head. This is actually happening. They try to fool you in the middle of the episode that because he grabs it and he's the only one that's there when he grabs it and he turns around and it's the doll again, that it could be in his head. But we already saw the scene where the doll was a kid in front of his friends. So that makes no sense. Patsy, I love you, but that makes no sense. Anyway, so they don't believe him, and he decides not to go to his little graduation party. Then we get the sort of twist, which is not really a twist, but we'll go with it. So, beginning of this episode, the mom was watching a birthday videotape, and because Dylan comes in, she stops the tape just before the magician starts to perform. Gee, I wonder if that'll be important. It is, because, and my thing is, they found these videos of the kids, so that they could show it to them out in the graduating, and kind of embarrass them, have a little fun. But Dylan doesn't go to his graduation party thing, he stays home because he's affected by this doll. But they're still watching the video? It's kind of rude, isn't it? You got this video so that you can show it to your son. But he's not there. You're still going to watch it. It plays into the plot. That's why they watch it. So, the kid, the buddy shows up again, and he tells him up. He's like, you were my friend, not anymore. I've grown up. I've outgrown you. And it turns back into a doll. And he goes to put it back in the box. And during this time, we flash back and forth, and we see that the magician bringing in Dylan, who was the birthday boy, the 6th birthday. And he's got the Buddy doll, and he goes, that's your buddy? He's my best friend. And the girl's like, Buddy? Well, yeah, you knew there was a doll. I don't understand why you... Okay. And then he starts to say he's put a spell to make Buddy real. And that's when they're like, I'm like, okay, hold on. This is a good episode, but even now I'm sitting here thinking, so what? They look like it's the most important thing in the entire episode that they found out about this. But so what? Some hack magician put a spell on a doll to make it real. And it hasn't shown itself to be real until now, when it's going to get sent away. Where's the connection here? I can't find a connection. They won't connect. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. He cast the spell on the doll when the kid was 6. But we're led to believe that nothing happened with the doll until now, when it's going to get sent away, when it's going to get sent to charity and stuff. And also, I remember when I first watched this episode, and he's destroyed it all. I'm like, okay, it's over. Or it's going to be like a headless doll or something. But the fact that they put the doll back together, I don't know. But anyway, they come to the realization that what Dylan is saying is true. But my problem with this whole revelation is that this magician did this at his 6th birthday. The kid's now like 13. 7 years passed, and nothing has come of this supposed spell. And all of a sudden, now, for some reason, it's coming back. Why? I could see if he's going through the boxes and we see him pick, he goes, oh yeah, I remember this. You know, I used to say he was my best friend forever. You know, something like that, and that wakes it up. Like, Big Wolf on Campus, for example, did an episode with an imaginary friend. And Merton's a teenager at this point, but he's going through a box of his old stuff, and he starts to reminisce about his imaginary friend Vince that he had. And this brings Vince back. This would have made sense if it started with this. But, you know, him reminiscing and that him saying it brought the doll to life again. But it still doesn't make sense that this spell was cast when the kid was 6 and nothing happened until 7 years later when the toy's about to be thrown away or whatever. Doesn't make any sense. Let's get to the end of the episode though. So, Dylan goes to put the thing in the box. He does, and he stands there and looks at it, and then he gets yanked in. And then we get the, you're my best friend forever. And then, of course, the mom and the friend, you know, the little girl, they're looking for him, and they find him. He's a doll now in the box. And they scream. And it ends with the narration from Uncle Phil. And this is a good episode. It's such a good episode. But even the best episodes of TV shows have something wrong with them. And it's that disconnect. It's that disconnect that I just can't figure out. Okay? That's the biggest conundrum in this entire episode, is that for 7 years, nothing had come of that spell. And now, after 7 years, all of a sudden, this thing is alive. It makes no sense. And I never connected that till now. That, you know, I never thought of that till now. That it doesn't make any sense why it's now coming back. Yes, you can say, oh, it's gonna get thrown away. You know, but if they had a scene at the beginning where he's going through stuff and he finds it, he goes, oh, hey, my buddy doll. You know, I used to say this is my best friend forever. And then his friend goes, well, you want to keep it? He's like, nah. Who cares? Throws it away. That could trigger it. Nah, I'm too old for this stuff anyway. Throw it away. By the way, they're examining this thing they call a megamorph, and they say it turns into a jet. It's clearly Optimal Optimus from Beast Wars. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, this episode is pretty good. Just that one little thing that makes me think, you know. But, not bad. It's probably the best one so far. This was a really good episode to start with. It's really nice. It's not as bad as the previous one, so it's pretty good. Shia LaBeouf was pretty good at acting at this point. Anson Williams Potsy for, you know, all the joking I make about it. He's a pretty good director. I think he did some directing for Sabrina Teenage Witch at some point too. And I believe he does another episode in The Haunting, in the Nightmare Room at some point. So, who knows? But yeah, Potsy. You did a good job. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. Oh! No, what the? No. What's going on? I'm your best friend. Forever.